think the willingness of the various leaders of the agency, the 70 municipalities, as well as the prosecutor's office, both the sheriff department, to want to get ahead of it and have that conversation. The last 2 years taught us a lot. It's been in existence, but we had an opportunity now to really be a little more transparent in how we deal with the community. I recall back in 2020, when, as we know, the pandemic happened, and I think subsequently George Floyd happened, and there was a lot of, the community lost all faith in law enforcement. What we did in the sheriff's office, we said we're going to, continue to have our relationship, build on our relationship. So I asked the officers to volunteer, to recommit themselves to law enforcement in the presence of the community. We sat on the courthouse step, and we all took our oath again that we're going to be faithful to the community. And I thought that was a really a big thing for us, because for an officer to realize that, okay, there may have been those who faulted our occupation. We are still there to serve the community, and that stood steadfast with me. Some of the things we did with the sheriff department, again, our doors are open. We do tours left and right. We have conversations left and right. We interact with all the police department. We interact with the NAACP on the regular, not only county, but statewide. I've had conversations, as well as relationship with other organizations, Black Lives Matters. And we all, again, has to come to the table and have this discussion. And that's all about relationship building. It can no longer be that wall. It has to have the willingness to have that discussion, understanding each culture. We talked about bias early. Some things are not necessarily bias. It's just a misunderstanding of each other's culture and how we got to address it and come forth and talk about it. One of the things we've done, we have a simulator, which is a shoot, don't shoot simulator. This is a common thing we're dealing with in America as far as people of color being shot, and really no one having the exposure of the duress the officer may be under at the time and happen to make that decision. Only way you're going to know is be part of that practical side of it. Then maybe you can delineate how an officer responds, and that also improves the relationship. So me, transparency. That's all that we can provide is transparency. And I share that wherever I go. Someone who used to be the NAACP president, who was on the other side challenging law enforcement, now being back on that side, continuously challenging law enforcement. Again, it just makes our occupation better. Now, on this side, of course, I'm looking for ways to make it happen as a chief executive officer, and I think we can get a whole lot more done. But it's also having that ability to have outreach to the community and the various organizations to facilitate the change and continue to build on what we have.